So let's talk organ prolapse. After I had my third son, I had a prolapsed uterus, a prolapsed bladder, and a prolapsed rectum. My uterine prolapse was the most severe. I know this is aging me, but there were no pelvic floor specialists when I had my kids. If you are suffering from prolapse, I would highly recommend that you see a pelvic floor specialist in the form of a physical therapist or a physiotherapist. I want to share some of the Pilates exercises that I use to heal my prolapse. So your pelvic floor or your pelvic diaphragm is shaped sort of like a cup. All right, and when you inhale or when it stretches out, it opens up, and then there's a closing and kind of a slight lifting on an exhale or when it contracts. So Kegels are simply this stopping of urination or the stopping of passing gas.
The first thing I want you to do is lie down on your back in a comfortable position and breathe deeply into your lungs. I want you to breathe deep through the front, through the back, and the sides of your lungs as well. Okay, here we go. Take an inhale in, deep breath, and exhale. Inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. On the next exhale, I want you to feel like you're hollowing out your abdominals. We want to feel like we're corseting our waist inward towards our midline or hugging in on our midline. Maybe you want to feel like your hip bones are narrowing in towards one another. Here we go. Inhale, deep breath, and exhale, corset your waist inward. Feel like there's a magnet on the inside of your body, and everything's moving inward towards it. Now we're going to think about something new. I want you to think on the next breath that as you inhale, your two sits bones underneath your tush, your right one and your left one, are separating or expanding sideways on that inhale. And then on the exhale, those two sits bones are moving gently towards one another. Let's try this together. Inhale, deep breath, and exhale. And again, inhale, let them separate and widen. And exhale, move them in gently towards one another. One more time. And exhale. Very good. The very last concept that we will go over is the idea that our pelvic floor is like an elevator. We're going to imagine that when we inhale, that elevator is coming down to the first floor. It's at ground level. And as we exhale, that elevator is going to pull in and up and come up towards the belly button. Now, if our belly button was maybe the third floor, we're going to come halfway up towards that belly button. So let's try this together. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale, bring that pelvic floor up gently. Inhale again. And exhale, let that pelvic floor rise. Now there is one last extra detail I want to go over with you. You're going to think about the pubic bone and the tailbone moving in towards one another on the exhale and moving away from one another on the inhale. So let's try to incorporate that as well. Inhale, deep breath, and exhale, pulling in and up. Inhale again. And exhale. Try to incorporate all that we've talked about. And exhale. Now we're going to work what are called pelvic curls. We're going to start by creating a mouse house underneath the small of our back by tipping our pelvis forward. Inhale when you tip the pelvis forward, and then we're going to exhale and curl the tailbone under so that our lower back sort of imprints or flattens into the mat behind us. Inhale, tip forward, and exhale, curl under. We're just going to gently undulate our hips back and forth as we breathe. Inhale, we feel that spreading and that opening. And then on the exhale, as we curl under, we feel the hugging of our midline as that pelvic floor rises. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Now I want you to take a supportive inflatable ball or a yoga block or pillow and place it underneath your sacrum. That happens to be the triangular shaped bone that is underneath your spine. Make sure that it's underneath your pelvis and not right at your low back. You want to feel supported in this exercise. Once you have the ball in place, reach your arms long. Take a deep inhale. On the next exhale, I want you to engage the core and your pelvic floor gently as you raise one leg up into the air and bring it back down on an inhale. Exhale to raise the other leg up. And inhale, lower down. So we can work on the same breathing pattern that we did before, but now we are feeling this cross-sectioning happening in those pelvic floor muscles as we raise one leg and our sits bone elongates away from us. We place it back down, the sits bone comes closer to us. This is very nice, gentle work as we just stabilize with that whole core and try to utilize and concentrate on the pelvic floor. Now we're going to take our yoga block and place it in between our knees. You can choose to place it in long ways or on its widest end. Bring your feet down to the mat. And we're going to take a deep breath, inhale. On the exhale, I want you to hollow out the abdominals and squeeze on that block gently. And try that again. Inhale. Exhale to squeeze. Remember to feel that lift of the pelvic floor. And exhale, squeeze and lift. From here, we are going to engage the abdominals to raise the legs up into a tabletop position. Now we have a stronger load of our legs. We're going to inhale, deep breath again, and exhale, squeeze on that block, engaging the pelvic floor gently. Inhale again, and exhale to squeeze. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Now we will switch out the ball for the yoga block under our pelvis. We want to angle our feet in towards one another so that we can freely open and close our legs. This exercise is called butterfly. You're going to inhale your legs open and then exhale, close and squeeze them together. Inhale, open the legs, feeling those sits bones widen. And exhale, feeling the sits bones move towards one another and kegel up. Inhale, open. And exhale to close. And again, inhale, open. And exhale, close. Next, we are going to take the yoga block out from underneath our pelvis and get ready for articulating bridges. We want to start with the arms long next to our side. Inhale, deep breath, and then curl under the tailbone and start lifting your pelvis one vertebra at a time off the mat. You can lengthen your arms up overhead if you would like to stretch and lengthen. And then exhale the arms back down. Inhale again and articulate down on the exhale. Inhale again, uncurling the pelvis, and exhale to rise one vertebra at a time. Lengthen away from the knees. Raise the arms, inhale. And exhale the arms back down. Bring down your upper back, your mid back, your lower back, and your tailbone.
Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave your questions in the comments. I would love to hear about your story or other ideas that you use to help your prolapse. I'm Rebecca Cook with Bella Pilates and Found Pilates Magazine.